Alright, so let's take a look at the players selected to represent the Super Eagles at the upcoming AFCON Qualifiers against Sao Tome. The match is set for this Sunday, the 10th of September, 5 p.m. Nigerian time to start, and it will be hosted at the Godswill Akpabio Stadium in Uyo. And please don't forget to like this video and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you very much. So first we start with the goalkeepers, of course. Francis Uzoho, the first name on the list, and Francis Uzoho plays for Omonia Nicosia in Cyprus. He actually was not part of the last Super Eagles camp, had picked up 2 yellow cards, so he was forced to miss the last match. But now he is back with the team. With his club side, not that much luck, no appearances this season, not one single appearance. That's kind of weird because it seemed like he made the number 1 shirt his own last season. And now all of a sudden, maybe they got a new goalkeeper in or something like that. But he has not made a single appearance for his club. But with the Super Eagles, I don't think there's any reason to believe he's not going to be the number 1 goalkeeper. Maybe not in this match because this is a dead rubber match. We really don't have anything to play for, really. But I really think that Francis Uzoho will be the number 1 goalkeeper because he hasn't done anything that would make you think that he would lose his position. And the coach has selected him as the number 1 goalkeeper ever since he came into the team. So I don't see that stopping anytime soon. And next up we got Ojo Olorinleke of Ayimba Football Club, the defending champions of the Nigerian Professional Football League. Just crashed out of the CAF Champions League qualifiers. They crashed out in their first step. Did not look too good right there. Ojo Olorinleke actually made a mistake in the first leg of the match. The second leg, I believe he kept a clean sheet. Was he the goalkeeper in goal? He kept a clean sheet and gets this selection. Like I said previously, I feel like somebody like Amos Obasogie should have got that selection, the NPFL slot. But either way it goes, Ojo Olorinleke is a great goalkeeper on his day. Is prone to mistakes, which is something like a mental type of situation. I don't think that really has anything to do with his talents or his skills, but he just has those mental lapses from time to time, which sometimes really lead to big time situations, real viral type situations. But I still say Ojo Olorinleke is a good goalkeeper. He has the size, has the reflexes, really nice goalkeeper on his day. So there you go for the number 2 guy and really number 3 guy. I believe the number 2 or number 1 would be Adebayo Adeleye, and Adebayo Adeleye plays for Hapoel Jerusalem. Was the goalkeeper against Sierra Leone last time, conceded the 2 goals. But either way it goes, he did a good job, got us the victory at the end of the day. So we definitely give him credit. I don't know, he might be the goalkeeper against Sao Tome because like I said, this is not really a game that there's much to play for. So if the coach wants to see more from him, he might just give him some game time in that match. With his club side, he has made 2 appearances in the league, and I don't think they've really played too many matches in the league, to be honest. Maybe 3 or 4 matches, he played 2 of them. He's a good goalkeeper like we saw against Sierra Leone. Real nice reflexes. Might be a little bit of undersized, but he still manages to do what he do, and he is athletic to make up for the size, I guess. So Adebayo Adeleye is definitely a good selection by Jose Pizarro. And we move on to the defenders. First on the list, William Troost-Ekong of PAOK FC in Greece. Recently moved to PAOK FC from Watford in England, although he was on loan with Salernitana in Italy last season also. Now this season with PAOK, he has made 8 appearances in all competitions so far, 6 in the Conference League and 2 in the league. Now of course Troost-Ekong is a central defender, and with the number of central defenders selected for this camp, seems like it's 3 of them, 3 natural central defenders. I believe some other guys can play at that position if needed, but just 3 natural central defenders right now. I believe there's a good chance Troost-Ekong is going to be starting against Sao Tome. Moving on, we got Ajayi of West Brom in the English Championship. Came into the Super Eagles starting lineup after that loss against Guinea-Bissau in Abuja, and he has been in it ever since. With West Brom, he has made 4 appearances in the league this season, scoring 1 goal and creating 1 assist. Now, just like Ekong, Ajayi is a central defender, and I kind of feel like he's also going to be starting in that game. He has been in the starting lineup, like I said, ever since that Guinea-Bissau loss, and I don't see the coach just changing that situation right there. And moving on, we got Aina of Nottingham Forest, fullback for Nottingham Forest in the EPL. Now, honestly, I feel like Aina is a real underrated player. This is a dude that could play basically almost every position on the pitch. He could play as a right back, a left back. He could play as a right wing back, a left wing back. He could play as a central defender. I believe he can play as a midfielder. I mean, the dude can do almost everything on the football pitch. A real talent. I mean, do I have to remind you of the audacious back heel against Burundi, I believe, at the African Cup of Nations, straight to Igalo, who put it into the back of the net. So definitely a top-class player right there. But with Nottingham Forest this season, Aina has had 3 starts and 3 yellow cards. That's something he needs to work on right there. He has started in the 3 matches he played in, but he has 3 yellow cards in those matches. So that's definitely something that you need to work on. You don't need to be picking up yellow cards every match. I mean, some discipline needs to be put in there. But either way, he's definitely a top player, like I said. Moving on, we got Tyronne Ebuehi of Empoli in the Serie A, also fullback. So with the Super Eagles, Tyronne has been kind of off and on. Remember, he wasn't selected to the last AFCON at first. Then he gets put in the list later on because somebody gets injured. Then from there, after that, he's not much invited to the team again. Really has not been playing for the team. I believe his last time was in the AFCON. But since then, has not played for the team. But with his club side last season, he really was instrumental in keeping Empoli in the Serie A. So that's definitely something right there. This season, he has had 2 starts. They have not been doing too good, if I'm being honest, Empoli. But he has had 2 starts, and he is back into the team, which I feel like he deserves at least at one part of last season. He definitely deserves at the ending of last season because he was one of the hottest players in the Serie A. He was getting assist after assist, just trying to help his team stay in the league. Definitely a top player. Has been through a lot, has been through injuries, came back stronger, faster, ready to work. And he's definitely a good player right there. And moving on, we got Bassey. Bassey plays with Fulham in the EPL, and he can play as a left back or a central defender. With Fulham this season, he has been playing as a central defender. Even in their preseason matches, he was as a central defender. They're also big, strong young lad with a whole bunch of speed. Also, real good player. With the Super Eagles, his last game as a starter, I believe, was against Guinea-Bissau. He was one of those players taken out the starting lineup for Ajayi, but he's still definitely a good player. I mean, we all go through times that things are not just working for us. But one thing I got to talk about was that last game against Arsenal, which he got the 2 yellow cards, which the second yellow card, people complain about that, but I really don't. It's definitely a yellow card. It was just not a right foul. You just basically grabbed somebody who was running past you. So it's definitely a foul. But the Saka moment, Saka just pulling him down, and he gets hurt, stays down. Look, I don't want to see that from Bassey. That's just period. I don't want to see that type of behavior from Bassey. If anything, you're supposed to be hurting Saka. No disrespect. I know Saka is our Nigerian brother, all that. That's beautiful. We love him. But in that situation, you're supposed to break him in half. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. You're a central defender. He is a winger. That should never happen. So that's kind of an issue right there. We need some kind of wickedness. Do you call it a mean streak? That's what you call it, a mean streak. We need some type of mean streak in our defenders. You just can't be allowing that type of behavior. Saka pulling you down and you staying down. Come on now, you're a central defender. You're the toughest guy on the pitch, and you need to start acting like that, because Calvin Bassey is a real strong young man, and I guess he just was like, hey, this is my brother, let me not hurt him. Man, break that man in half. But either way, moving on, we got Bruno Onyemaechi of Boa Vista. That's Boa Vista in Portugal. There was a whole bunch of talk about him moving to Porto during the offseason, but it never happened, and he stayed with Boa Vista. Actually plays with Chidozie Awazim in Boa Vista. This season, he has had 3 appearances, 3 of them starts, playing as a left back. He actually can play as a central defender also, but with his club this season, he has been playing as a left back, and he has had 1 assist. With the Super Eagles, has he started or definitely not started any games? I don't think he has had any playing time with the Super Eagles, if I'm not mistaken. But you got the coach, Jose Peseiro. Where is he from? Portugal. Bruno Onyemaechi plays in Portugal, so if the coach is watching him and believes that he deserves a selection, we just got to put our hand up and see what the coach does. From what I've seen with his matches in Portugal, definitely a classy player, definitely has a whole bunch of swag to him when it comes to going forward. So I would love to see him on the pitch for the Super Eagles one of these days. Moving on, we got Jamilu Collins of Cardiff City. Jamilu Collins, also a fullback, a left back for Cardiff City. Had a real serious knee injury last season. The story begins, he moves from Germany to Cardiff City. They're raving about this guy the first few games. Then all of a sudden picks up the knee injury, out for the rest of the season. And now he finally comes back in. Actually, I saw some on the NFF YouTube page, and they went to go visit Jamilu Collins when he came back from his injury. And definitely, he's a player that's been doing a good job this season. 4 league appearances, 3 starts. I said it in the last video. I watched him against Leicester City. Did a good job against Kelechi Iheanacho and Wilfred Ndidi and co. So definitely deserves this selection, and I'm very happy for him that he could come back from such a serious knee injury and still be back to where he left off. So that's definitely a good thing. Last but not least of the defenders, we got Jordan Torunarigha of Ghent, and that's Jordan Torunarigha, who just recently got selected to the Super Eagles after a little bit of paperwork with FIFA. Formerly a German youth player, actually played at the Olympics with Germany, the last Olympics, if I'm not mistaken, is in Japan 2021. He was with Germany, had 3 appearances in that competition, has played for Germany in a whole bunch of youth levels. And people are trying to say, well, we've been asking him for a long time, and so he finally said, so we shouldn't allow him on the team because we've been asking him. And now that he finally says we shouldn't be allowing him to play, which is nice and dandy. But those same people are going to be telling you, oh, what about Eze? What about Olise? Do you know how many times we've asked those boys, but you want them in the team after we asked them 20, 40 times. But Jordan Torunarigha, you don't want him in the team because we've asked him 1 or 2 times and he said no. Man, nobody wants to hear all that stuff. This is football. Their hopes, their dreams got shattered, and that's how we got in. A lot of people get their wives that way. So don't come out here crying to me that we need to not give this young man a chance because he told us no some time ago. I mean, that's just ridiculous right there. But like I said, Jordan Torunarigha plays for Ghent this season. He has had 5 appearances for him, 4 of them starts, scoring 1 goal and creating 1 assist. And this is a real big fella. You see him in the videos, real tall. Him and Shemi Ajayi, those are like the twin towers right there because those guys are like over 6'5", 6'6", something. So real mighty player. He could be a real good inclusion to the Super Eagles. So let's just see. Hopefully he does a good job. I'm rooting for him. Hopefully he proves us right that he's a good player. And moving on to the midfielders. We got Joe Aribo of Southampton in the championship. Southampton got relegated last season from the EPL. Joe Aribo joined them last season and really started pretty good. Then he got to like the midway point, and it seemed like, not it seemed, Southampton just looked like they were getting relegated at the midway point. Coach gets fired, new coach comes in, new plans, new players in positions and things like that. And from that point till now, Joe Aribo has been fighting it. He's been basically on the bench from that point till now, not really been getting substantial playing time with his team. This season, he has had 4 appearances in the championship and 1 in the EFL Cup. Not much more than 90 minutes, probably like 99 minutes, 100 minutes played in total this season. So it's going rough for Joe Aribo, but we definitely know he has the quality, and hopefully he can just stay strong and come out of this, because there is light at the end of every tunnel. And moving on, we got Wilfred Ndidi of Leicester City. Wilfred Ndidi, also a midfielder. I said also a midfielder, like we're not talking about midfielders. Apologies. But anyways, Wilfred Ndidi is the story of the Super Eagles right now. I mean, he's the biggest story in town. Here's a guy that was a central defender, turned into a midfielder, and he was really a midfielder that's just supposed to win the ball back and pass it to the playmakers. And now, all of a sudden, he turns into the playmaker. You see Wilfred Ndidi on the flanks. He's putting balls in. He's putting players on their backs. I mean, he's finishing with class, with confidence. I'm like, what is going on with Wilfred Ndidi? The guy is like a changed man. Like, I don't understand it, because this is just crazy right here, what Wilfred Ndidi is doing. And it's so great to see, so beautiful to see. And you got to credit his coach, by the way, because, hey, he's putting him in those positions. I mean, you can't say that he thought Wilfred out to be attacking and things like that, but he did put him in those positions, probably giving him the confidence to go out there and do what he's doing. So definitely shout out to the coach. This season, he has had 5 appearances in the league, 4 of those starts, 2 appearances in the EFL Cup with 2 goals and 1 assist in that competition. So that just lets you know the type of confidence and the type of class wave Wilfred Ndidi is on right now. Moving on, we got Frank Onyeka. Frank the Tank plays for Brentford in the EPL, and he also is a midfielder. Don't know why I keep saying that. Well, he's a box-to-box type midfielder, so I guess there's a difference in the midfielder type. But anyways, this season he has had 2 appearances in the league and 1 in the EFL Cup. I honestly felt like this was the season that Brentford will finally give Frank Onyeka the chance to really, show himself in the EPL. But it just seems like they're trying to make him a squad player, or they want him to just to be a squad player, because all he gets is appearances off the bench. He's not playing in every match. I don't know if it all has to do with just the coach's decision or fitness. But either way, he is not playing in every match. So that's something that is really not cool with me. I felt like this would be a season that they would actually let him play, because even in the preseason, he was playing a little bit more. He was playing a little bit closer to goal, and we were feeling like this was when he's actually going to show us what he's about. But here we go. It's still not looking good for Frank Onyeka. With the Super Eagles, I feel like Jose Peseiro kind of trusts Frank Onyeka. Has started him in a couple of matches, brings them off the bench quite frequently. And yeah, so either way it goes, he's probably going to be playing against Sao Tome. Not too sure if he's going to start or come off the bench. But, I mean, just regardless, we got 4 midfielders. That's all you got to know about that right there. We got 4 midfielders. So there's a good chance that basically maybe almost all of them will play. And moving on, the last midfielder, we got Raphael Onyedika of Club Brugge. And Raphael Onyedika makes a return to the team. I believe his last selection was when we played Algeria. Those 2 matches, the home base and the A team of Algeria. and he really didn't get too much playing time. I believe he played against the home base team, but definitely not the main team. And don't know why that situation is going on like that. Maybe the coach just doesn't like what he's seeing so far, or he feels like he needs to keep on working and work his way to the top, because some coaches just want you to work your way up there. They don't just want to hand you some. If there's a player in your position, they want you to beat them out clean and fair, then you get the position. So that might be the issue right there with Raphael Onyedika. But this season, he has made 5 appearances in the league. 5 of those starts, 6 in the European Conference League, and 5 of those starts with 1 assist. Has played more than anybody, it looks like, this season. Be you who, goalkeeper, defender, or forward, I believe he has played more than anybody for his club this season, followed by Troost-Ekong, if I'm not mistaken. And moving on, we go to the forwards, and we start with the man that just got nominated for the Ballon d'Or, Victor Osimhen of Napoli in the Serie A. Of course, the striker for the Nigerian national team, and of course the striker for Napoli. What else is there to say about Victor Osimhen? Top player. I mean, this season he has had 3 appearances in the league, which of course 3 of those are starts, with 3 goals scored. Actually gave away a penalty in the second game. He could have had 4 goals at this point, but the guy is just a selfless dude. I mean, when you talk about Victor Osimhen, you mostly just talking about off the field stuff, and I believe that's why people like to underrate him a little bit, because you're always talking about his character, you're always talking about the fight, you're always talking about things like that, and you forget to say that this is a top-class footballer. This is a world-class striker that you're talking about. He's not just a good guy. He's a world-class footballer who's willing to give everything on the pitch. Don't know if he's going to be playing against Sao Tome. I mean, a striker always wants to score goals, but Jose Peseiro really has to put his thinking cap on for this situation. Do you really want to risk it? I mean, how much are you going to risk? Does he start the game and play 90 minutes? I think not. Probably in the realm of 45 to 60 minutes, and let's see what happens. And next up, we got Samuel Chukwueze. Of course, you're going to get Samuel Chukwueze after Victor Osimhen. Recently moved to AC Milan in the Serie A, formerly of Villarreal in La Liga. Of course, the winger Samuel Chukwueze is this season with AC Milan really looking like what he left from. I mean, looks like he's in the same situation he left. Actually, it probably would have been better at Villarreal, because he became a starter at Villarreal. He was the star of the show when he left. But now with AC Milan, it seems like they're easing him on. That's the word I'm going to use, easing him on. Because if you think about it, Pulisic was signed like 2 or 3 weeks or maybe a month before Samuel Chukwueze. Samuel Chukwueze missed a whole bunch of preseason, so it's not like he had all of preseason and the coach is saying you're still going to be starting on the bench. From what he said out of his own mouth, he talked with the coach guaranteed him that he's part of the plans. So maybe the fact that he has been coming off the bench in every match that he has played is just something like let's ease him in, and later on we're going to start with the real work. So either way it goes, top player Samuel Chukwueze is, we all know that, one of the best left foot. Him and the next guy I'm about to talk about have the best left foot in the Super Eagles. But really a top player, and hoping to see him against Sao Tome. And moving on, of course, speaking of left foot, we got senior man Kelechi Iheanacho of Leicester in the English Championship. A lot of talk about a move for Kelechi Iheanacho. Of course, Leicester City is a club that, me personally, I look with a bombastic side eye, because Leicester City always be doing some funny stuff. Kelechi Iheanacho had the super season that he led them to the FA Cup, and right after that, the coach just benched them. I mean, the club is like, they're just watching all that stuff happen. He's on the bench. Last season, he's on the bench basically the whole time, until when they knew that, oh look, we're facing relegation, we can't just be going off of sentiments. So he comes in the game and he's doing a good job, almost saves them from relegation, but God don't like ugly. They had to get relegated for how they treated Kelechi. Okay, I'm just joking. But either way it goes, they get relegated, and now he's in the championship. He's been getting some good playing time under the new coach, to be honest. I'm going to keep it real with that one. He's been playing some consistent football for him. Not 90 minutes. He's sharing time with Jamie Vardy, but you got to understand, Jamie Vardy is a club legend, a city legend in that area. So it's not going to just be easy to keep Jamie Vardy out of games, because if you don't win, a lot of fans are going to say, well, if Jamie Vardy was there, so the coach has to do that. But either way, Kelechi has been playing. He scored the winning goal against Sierra Leone last time, the goal that got us in the Nations Cup. I mean, you got to give most of the credit to Zaidu Sanusi for that goal. But Kelechi Iheanacho is the guy that scored the goal. With his club side, he has made 5 appearances in the league, 4 of those starts with 1 assist. And he also has 1 appearance in the EFL Cup with 1 goal and 1 assist to add. Moving on, we got Moses Simon of Nantes in the French top flight. Of course, Moses Simon was the best player for the Super Eagles at the last AFCON, and he also scored a goal for the team recently, the winner against Guinea-Bissau in Guinea-Bissau. With his club side, he has made 4 appearances in the league, 4 of those starts, creating 2 assists along the way. Now, last season, Nantes had a real tough time. I felt like it had a lot to do with them playing in the Europa League last season. And this season, they don't have anything else to play apart from the league. So I expect a much better time and performance from Nantes and Moses Simon. Next up, we got Ademola Lookman, forward for Atalanta in the Serie A. Now, Lookman kind of took the league by storm last season. At a point in time, it was neck and neck between him and Victor Osimhen for the Golden Boot race. That just lets you know how hot of a start he had in the league. He kind of went cold at the later stage of the season, but that didn't really take nothing away from what he achieved. Now, this season, he has made 3 appearances in the Serie A, 2 of those starts, but the goals and assists have not yet landed. Next up, we got Victor Boniface of Bayern Leverkusen. That's Bayern Leverkusen in the Bundesliga. Recently moved to Bayern Leverkusen from the Belgium top flight. Plays as a striker for his team, but also can play on either wing if needed. Definitely a real skillful player with good finishing qualities. This season, he has made 3 league appearances for Bayern Leverkusen. All of them starts, 4 goals scored with 2 assists. I mean, definitely has been taking Germany by storm, but the question right now is how much playing time, or is he going to even get some playing time against Sao Tome? Not that he is not good enough to play, but we got so many strikers on the team. I mean, I believe we got the best strike force in the world. I've been saying that. This is not just something that I just brought up out of nowhere. I've been saying this. We have probably, if not the best strike force in the world. Yes, you can say, oh, this country has a better striker than we have. But if you're talking about a collection of strikers, I don't think you can point out anybody with a better collection of strikers. You used to say England, but no. Anybody you want to say, no. We have the best strike. I mean, Sadiq Umar is not here, for goodness sakes. Let's start there. We got players that are not even here that will walk into other teams, other national teams. So, I mean, don't play with us when we talk about strikers. So that's kind of the issue with Victor Boniface. But I definitely love to see what he brings to the table. Speaking of bringing to the table, another player who's getting his first selection into the Super Eagles, and that's Orban of Ghent in Belgium. This is a player that just came out of nowhere, if we're being honest. From the story I seen, he went on trial in Akwa Ibom State. Actually, that's crazy because this is like full circle moment. He went on trial in Uyo, right? And they saw him. He moves to a club, Stanbic, a club in, I forget the country, somewhere in Europe. But basically the dude can't stop scoring. Just scoring everywhere he goes. Score, score, score. Putting the ball into the back of the net. So he gets the move to Ghent. And at Ghent, he's doing the same thing. Scoring, 3 goals, 4 goals, 1 goal, 2 goals. He's just scoring all over the place. And now he's invited to the Super Eagles. And guess where he's going to play? He could play his first match. And that's Uyo. And that's crazy. That's crazy right there. A full circle moment. He comes back to where he started with. And what we got to talk about, this was 2021, we're saying. He left Uyo in 2021, and he's in the national team in 2023. This is crazy. And you're saying, well, his story is that I believe his mom is from Togo and his dad is from Nigeria. I still don't understand how we have a scoring machine like this anywhere in the country, and nobody knew. He goes to Stanbic, and as an Aqua United fan, I'm like, come on now, Aqua United. The man was in your whole town, and you didn't even know it. So this guy leaves Nigeria, and all of a sudden, he's one of the most sought-after strikers in the world. It's a crazy story. It's one of the craziest stories in sports, to be honest. This season, you could say he has cooled down a little bit. He has had 4 appearances in the league, 3 starts, 2 of those goals, 5 appearances in the Conference League, 4 goals. He had a hat-trick in the Conference League. So if you can say that that's slowing down, you could say it's slowing down, because he'll be scoring like 20 goals by now if it was last season. But either way it goes, definitely a top player, strong player, not the tallest player, but definitely looks like those type of Daniel Amokachi type of players, just a big, strong lad. When you watch him, great finisher, can score with free kicks, can score off the volley, right, left, headers. What can he do? I'm waiting to see what he can do, because from what I see, he can do it all. And moving on, the last but not least striker, Taiwo Awoniyi, Mr. Underrated. I feel like the EPL don't do enough for this young lad. This dude is just tearing it up over there. Taiwo Awoniyi is striker for Nottingham Forest. Helped Nottingham Forest stay in the league last season and picked up from where he left off. What is he on? 9 goals and 8 appearances dating back last season. 9 goals and 1 assist in 8 appearances dating back to last season in the Premier League. This is just top class from Taiwo Awoniyi. It's like he got in there and he just knows what to do. Sometimes you figure out the game, and I feel like this is what's going on. Plus, he's just getting stronger. He's getting older. When you get older, you get stronger. They call it man body. And he's just, when you see him out there, it's like a physical specimen. The goal against Manchester United takes the ball away from, or is it Rashford, goes on the run. Rashford catches up, and he just shrugs them off just like paper on the floor. Throws Rashford on the floor. Looking at Onana, makes him fall without even doing anything, and basically plays it so close to Onana, he just played it like, you're not going to catch it. Onana touched that ball and it still went in. This man is on high confidence, and he is one of the best strikers in the world right now. You got Victor Osimhen, yes, but Taiwo Awoniyi is not far off from the Victor Osimhens and the Erling Haalands. He's not far off from those guys. I'm telling y'all, because he has figured it out, and I believe so. But either way, Taiwo Awoniyi, top player this season, 4 league appearances, 3 of them starts. He has scored 3 goals and created 1 assist. That assist, the beautiful assist to Elanga this weekend against Chelsea, that was for the winner. Big time player. At the EFL Cup, he had 1 appearance. Really, for like a minute, they were losing to Burnley. Tried to salvage the situation by bringing Taiwo off the bench, but it didn't work out for the team at the end of the day. But either way it goes, it's a solid player. From what I see altogether, a solid list. Maybe the midfield could be a little bit better, but it's a solid list. Let me know your thoughts on the selections. And please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank y'all for watching.